Welcome to the show. It is me, your girl, Labora Lee. Listen, I have a few things on my mind today. I don't know. I do, and I want to talk about them. Things that just cross my thoughts throughout the week. You know, things that I feel like we as adults should talk about. So we're going to talk about it. We definitely are. Um, what Wednesdays we do it a little different. And today, believe it or not, my friends, it is Wet Wednesday. It is Wet Wednesday, and today is the day that we talk all things taboo and we talk about adult stuff. And I enjoy Wet Wednesdays because it's really the day that I get to go a little off of the grid. Um, and I really just get to speak my mind. But before I get to speak in my mind, I want you guys to take a gander at this. What's up, guys? It is me, your girl, Labora Lee. And guess what? Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, fun way to expand your reach. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Following the link in our description, let Buzzsprout know that we sent you, and it gets you a $20 gift card from Amazon when you sign up for a paid plan. And it helps support our show. So let's start our podcast today. Let's get to creating, people. Time is of the essence. Hi, I'm back. All right, y'all. Today I wanted to start a little light and then we move into my shenanigans. I wanted to talk a little sports talk today. I wanted to talk about this LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart situation. Now, I didn't get to catch that game. I believe I didn't get to catch the game business situation. I don't know why I didn't get to catch that game, but I did get to catch highlights. I did get to watch this particular situation on repeat a couple of times. On repeat. And so, I sat down and I analyzed the situation a little bit, just a little bit. And, the great debate in these nosy streets, because, people nosy out here, was the um, punishment for the said crime fair. LeBron got suspended for 1 game. Isaiah got suspended for 2. And I'm going to tell you why Isaiah got suspended for 2 in a second. Did LeBron intentionally smack the dog fur, because I can't cuss that, smack the dog fur out of Isaiah Stewart? I believe he intentionally swung. I don't think that he intended for the said damages. Let me explain. When you're playing the sport of basketball, even when you're playing football, most contact sports, let's just say that, it gets a little aggressive from time to time. Do I think this compares to that whole situation with Ron Artest and um, Stephen? No, I don't think that is the same. This is the same comparison. I think that the young man got smacked by LeBron. LeBron did intentionally, he did that. You feel me? But do I think that he intended the damages that he did? No. Um, Isaiah was on his ass, and so he wanted him up off him, and he swung. But why Isaiah got the um more of the punishment than LeBron got was Isaiah was on his one after he got smacked. I don't want to say, I don't want to say smack, because that was, that had to be like closed fist. The way he opened him up like that, that was like his fist was closed. I had to go back and watch that one more time, because that young man was bloody. But after all was said and done, the first little tussle, he kept going, yo. He kept going. He was enraged and he was ready to hurt something. Now, would it have turned out how he thought? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Um, I don't know what that would have looked like. I'm glad it didn't get, as far, but he kept going. And because of his rage and because they could not stop him, is why he got more of the punishment than LeBron did. That's just being goodness gracious truth. The other side of that is, because I got to play devil's advocate. The other side of that is that it's LeBron we talking about. Franchise player, big name for the league. They had to punish him, but they wasn't, some more like a little tap on the hand. All right, you sit out one game, go sit down. So it's a lot of politics. I need y'all to always remember that I don't care what, in any corporation, there's always politics. I said I was going to start giving y'all a little bit more business insight. Let's just use that as the first example. I don't care. If you play basketball, you're part of a corporation. And it's like saying the maybe not the CEO, but maybe let's go to one of the higher ups, on one of the executives smacks one of the lesser employees. You think that the executive is going to get fired or suspended? Probably not. If the employee responds, they'll probably lose their job, or they'll probably be suspended. And in this day and age, you can't do that anyway. But not that LeBron is an executive within the NBA, but it's just a pecking order. It's always a pecking order, and I need people to remember that first and foremost. But let's get to the next thing. I want to move on because I didn't want to linger on that. I've been watching it on repeat, and the way he swung back. Now I want to pay attention to whether or not his fist was closed, because like he opened him up, so I can't. I want to say, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I like to confirm, but I can't confirm right now whether the fist was closed or whether it was open. But what I will say is, yes, it was intentional to do that. Now, was it intentional to bust him to the white meat? No, I don't believe so. And I wholeheartedly believe that Isaiah got more punishment than LeBron because he kept on charging. And you can't do that. You at work, you can't do that. So that's that. So I want to get on this one situation, and the reason why I want to talk about this next situation is this, because I've experienced it a lot in my life, and to whomever may be listening and don't like the fact that I'm talking about, I don't really care. I've heard stories where it happened to people that I care for, and so we can relate I think all of us can relate on this particular situation, but some of us are actually the people that do it. So I want to have a conversation about it really, really quick. So let me see. Do I want to play? I'm going to wait a second before I play a video. Let me just get to the nitty gritty. So the first thing is this. This is to a certain group of individuals. You know who you are. You know who you are because you do it, and this is going to bother you that I'm saying it. It's going to bother you that I'm saying something about it. Stop thinking that people should inconvenience their lives to cater to your life and what you want. I'm going to say that again. For those in the back that didn't hear me. Stop thinking that people should inconvenience their lives to can make it convenient for your life or to cater to your life. And what I'm saying by this is, and this is not just relationships, this is in business, this is in life, this is in friendships, this is in family situations, this is in general. Each one of us have our own individual lives that we have to live. Um, we all do things differently and according to what we should be. I'm not going to say that we all do, but we all should be doing things that are beneficial to our lives, individual lives, and making it better. Now, I've said this time and time again, nobody is put here to make your life happy. You are the person who finds your happiness. People can add to your happiness, but they can't make you happy. So with that being said, um to look to somebody else for them to define what your happiness is quite foolish in my opinion. We're adults, so we're talking about it. It's quite foolish in my opinion. Now, to look to somebody to add to the happiness that you already have in your life, that's a beautiful thing. But the one thing we cannot do and should not do is look to somebody, and this is all right, let me give you different examples. So let's say in business, I'm not even gonna give you anybody else's example. I'm gonna give you a situation of my own because I've been in this situation myself from a business standpoint. You cannot come to me and say, because I am a marketer, and let me say this first and foremost. I am by nature, first and foremost, a marketer, a marketing consultant. Um, in hindsight, a marketing executive because I own my own company. Yes, I am. hmm But just because I hold those titles does not mean that you can, and just because you might know me or you might feel like because we're from the same environment or whatever you may feel. I don't know what it is. I don't presume to think for anybody. But you cannot come in that situation and tell me, listen, I need you to do this job for me, but I'm going to pay you on the back end or a consignment situation or something like this. First of all, my daughter can't eat your back end. My bills can't be paid with your back end. um I can't continue to do business as I see fit with your back end. So now that is a prime example of somebody trying to make, or somebody, because I'm not giving specific situations, I'm just talking about, giving an example of how in business people will do that. And I've had that happen to me time and time again. And I'll say it now. I've said it then and I'm gonna say it now. I can't do my job with your back end. See, in order to have a successful marketing campaign, money needs to be spent. And if I don't have the budget, if you don't even have a budget for me to do that, let alone pay, your retainer, or well, I'll stop doing retainers now. It's service, service. You pay by service actually now. That's that flat amount. But back when I was doing a retainer, if you can't pay me my retainer just to do the job that you're asking me to do, which is a lot. A lot of people don't understand. It's just not posting on the internet. It's a little bit more than that. It's a lot. Well, it's a lot more than that. Uh, you can't pay the retainer and you don't have a budget to work with. What are we doing? You're wasting my time. No, we can't. I can't inconvenience my life to bank on maybe you'll be successful or maybe it'll happen. I can't, that's not how I'm set up. And I know a lot of other people who are in the service industry provide a service for others uh, who would say the same thing. You can't come for me, ask for my services, and then just say, well, I don't got it right now, but later on, because you're wasting my time. I can't do anything with your later ons. I'm not guaranteed that Nobody's guaranteed that your product that you're offering is going to be, even if we provide the best services that we can provide, is going to be successful. We're kind of banking on, like you banking on us. You don't know that, but you want the service. Pay for the service. You can't go into a restaurant and say, um, I'm gonna eat now and I'll pay you next month when I'm all the way. You can't. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not how services are rendered. I think people don't understand that relationships. Um, well, anything that works for me is convenient. That, like, I'm not gonna make myself unhappy to make somebody else happy. If I'm not happy, there's no way that it's gonna work. We both have to have a compromising position to where as though we both can come to a medium. But if one party's more happier than the other, or I'm like, this is it's not balanced. It's not going to work. If I gotta inconvenience myself just to cater to you, that's a problem. If we can't cater to each other's needs, it's not going to work. I'm not inconveniencing myself to be convenient for you. Now, if you make things convenient for me, I'll try my best, is to the best of my ability, to make sure I can cater to you. It's just how it works. It's 50-50. You want something from me, I want something from you. It's give and take. And again, I didn't say this. It does not necessarily a financial situation. Just stop thinking people are going to be inconvenienced to make your world better. Make your own world better. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, and that's in love, that's in business, that's in whatever you do. You worry about how you want to improve your situation. Um, and not necessarily whether or not anybody else can come in and make it feel better. Somebody else gonna come in and put a band-aid on it and fix whatever your problem is. No. Everybody got problems. Everybody has things that they have to deal with. It's not other people's job to just come in and put the no. Now, if you happen to have a dope ass support system where they gonna hold you down, that's great. But make sure you hold them back down. Cut your people. What time is it? It's not time yet. Cut your people the fuck in. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you just can't treat people any kind of way and think that they just gonna be cool with it and they just gonna ride with it. At some point, the other party is going to get tired of your shit, and then they're just not going to be worried about what you got going on. If you know, like, well, a lot of people don't know me, but I'm the type of person, I have my breaking points, and when I get there, it's not going to be much conversation had. It's just going to be, all right, I'm at my breaking point. You're getting on my fucking nerves. I'm gonna wash my hands up and be done with it. I don't really have the kind of patience where I sit and I'm gonna give you another chance, or we're gonna keep trying, or I'm not. I have my breaking point, and when I get there, I wash my hands of a lot of shit. And so it's a lot of people out here that are like that, believe it or not. There are a lot of people out here that just, all right, I'm done with it. And you're not gonna know. It's not gonna be a conversation had. It's just they're gonna be done with it, and you just asked out because you wanted to make it all about you and catering to you and not worrying about what they got going on, what their situation is. Don't inconvenience people. Um, Now, what I will say, on the other hand, is to the people who are not selfish. And hold on, I'm gonna take because I'm good. This message I want to convey. Let's play a video real quick, and then we'll come back to that. Where we gonna go with it today? We gonna start in Baltimore today. Who we gonna go with? Whatever video I land on is the video we land on. Let's do. Who we gonna go with? We'll start with the Dumb Dirt Pretend. We're gonna play this video. It's an oldie but goodie. It's called Animal Shit. I like the song.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Right. We some motherfucking my fucking partner, I'm a monster. Fucking animal shit. Almighty myself, my nigga. Yo, almost better than I ever was. Dirty motherfucker with a mean mug. I break fast in the session. Break a man up, then sit down and eat breakfast. Clear catastrophic danger. Black grown monkey with anger, give me 10 feet. I'm unselfish with an ass whipping. It's 10 niggas snook the crook. Yo, my whole sense of purpose in life. Get a pie, give my peoples a slice. Roll dice to keep myself self-satisfied. I'm disturbed, in other words. Motherfucker don't say shit. When my temper get test, my buttons get pressed. My main veins poke through my flesh. Break through and counteract with the death. Beat him, then pound on my chest. The honorable, mighty, the best, the head chef. I leave a footprint when I stalk. Grab a mic and do damage to come. I'm a motherfucking animal. 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 Yo, I always leave a footprint when I stalk. Grab a mic and do damage to come. I'm a motherfucking animal. 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 Nigga, I push the pencils to the lead break. Plus I'm known to write, ain't got a pen. This skinny brown nigga in Thames. Like me smack mucus out your dumb ass. You 1/3 of what I used to be. Break MCs, then pound my chest like a primate. It's not good to get me irate. Looking like live bait. Raw steak food for the wolves. Know they gon' feast till they fall. Take a pull. I declare war on whoever. Let your mother be the judge to prove that I'm better. Clever with my wordplay. Plus I say it much sharper. Arthur, my voice touch the hearts of toddlers. Leave grown folks in shock. Rock knots, put speed knots on foreheads. Crab cake niggas get served as hors d'oeuvres. Rest getting fed to the birds. Tossed out on the curb.
Hey yo, soldier noses, foxholes and bunkers. Empty then reload. Heartbeats, numbers, terrorists, the corners. I pull that Smith and Wesson 686 and make a motherfucking strip like he work enormous. Niggas pat you on your back and search for soul spots of folks. Try to get inside your cranial vault. Elephant's memory, call me West Indian Archie. When I ask you a question, never answer falsely. You, I'll break your Adam's apple with 8 pounds of pressure. Slip the crook so fast I can chase down the leopard. Bike shift can bring down the bison. Over the last 10 years, it been 300 sites. Yeah, face covered with hair like a bad bitch Morgan State. Only thought in my head is I wonder how his organ tastes. You know we stay on the animal shit. Dirt Platoon, aka the Cannibal Clique, cause we eat rats.
I'm a motherfucking animal. Clever with my wordplay. I'm a motherfucking animal.
Animal shit.
Like I said, old shit, but classic shit. That shit is called animal shit. That is Dirt Platoon. Shout out to them. Always love. Always love. Anyway, let's get back to my shit because I'm on one. I've really been, on like just paying attention to people and how they move lately. And so I wanted to speak on that shit a little bit. I've been thinking long and hard about what I wanted to say to this shit. So the other thing, I'm going to give a little bit of advice and then I'm going to explain why I'm giving that advice. Now, I'm giving this advice, which is you got to do it your way. Whatever your way is, you got to find what works for you. And that kind of segues from what we just talked about, people thinking that you're supposed to cater to them when you don't. Like, it's so much deeper than just them thinking that you got to cater to them. It's you worrying about you and you not being the person that caters to people when they come with their fuck shit. That's just, it's that simple. So the reason why I'm saying giving this piece of advice of you got to do it your way is simple. It's really a lot simpler than you think. And that is because I'm going to do it my fucking way. I'm going to do it however I need to do it. Whatever works for me, whatever my system is, this my way. It doesn't have to work for the next person. Just like whatever they doing and they got going on does not have to work for me. What I got going on is my situation. Now you can contribute, but just know when you contribute, I still have to do it my way. It's just that simple. Um, when it comes to answering on Judgment Day, I'm not answering for your sins. I'm answering for my own. So yes, I still got to do it my way. While I'm walking this earth, I have to use my free will, and I got to do it my way. And I can't do it my way if I'm doing it your way. It's just that simple. Um, that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads, but that's just what it is. You can't just be out here doing stuff just to make everybody else happy. Yeah, you want to make people happy. Trust me, I've been a people pleaser for a long time, but at this juncture in my life, it's just not something that's going to benefit my mental health, my physical health, my well-being, my child's well-being, my anybody around me that I care deeply for. If it doesn't benefit them, I don't really worry about it. And even when it comes to them, I have my limits because I'm gonna do it how I want to do it. I'm gonna do it my way, and that's just that simple. And sorry, it's just how it is. Prime example of me doing it my way. Well, it's not really me doing it my way. It's just I wanted my own personal Facebook page to be my own personal Facebook page. So I did it. I did the podcast. I had the podcast going straight to my Facebook page at some point. And then at some point, I'm just like, okay, now I needed to go to its own page so it can be its own situation. And it's not on my Facebook page, although I still promote on it and all of that. But that was just me doing it my way. I need my separate situation from this podcast and Ambitiously Entertainment in general. That was me doing it my way. Yes, I'm sorry. A lot of people were inconvenienced that said they were watching, may have watched. You can still do the same things just from the page. But I got to do it my way. I need I need it to be a little bit separate. I need the balance. That's the Libra in me though. So that's that. Another thing. Oh, we got a lot to talk about. We're not done. I have more on my agenda. Hopefully I can get it all out in this one show without going over too much. So just do it your way. Don't let nobody tell you how to live, how to be you. You be who you're supposed to be. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. You can catch us on our Facebook page, Ambitiously the Podcast, on our YouTube page, Ambitiously the Podcast, The Black Experience, or you can go to my IG page, at Miss_Lurlucidity. Again, that is at _Miss Lurlucidity. Our link tree link is going to be put up probably. I'm working on some things, so I want to make sure all the links are on there so that it'll be more convenient for everyone. You could just click the link and go to wherever you want to go. I'm gonna try to make it that simple so you don't have to worry about too much. I'm just fine tuning everything. I don't want to keep rushing to things and it not be properly done. So that's all that's happening with that. Let's move on. I saw this quote and I thought about it, and then I thought about what it meant to me and how I could reflect on it. And this is one of them situations. This is one of those times of the year where I do a lot of reflection. So it might not necessarily cater to you, and it might. If the shoe fits, wear it. It is what it is. But listen to this, and it said you can come out better or you can come out better. There's a purpose in your pain. Again, I'm gonna apply it to myself and nobody else's life because I can't, and I wouldn't. So I'll give you one situation. I had a situation, not going to be too specific about it, but it applies to my general everyday life. I could have been two situations. I could have been very bitter and focus my attention on what those situations were, but I choose not to be that person in real life. Like I am one of them type of people, like, all right, that happened. It's gonna take me. I'm gonna be in my feelings for a little second, and I'm gonna have to sit on it and think about it for a second. But eventually, I'm gonna move the fuck on, and that's just what it is. Um, I'm not gonna sit and there we go. All right, I'm not gonna sit and dwell in my misery because like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh well, what was me? This happened. Um, and I I don't have time for that. One is I'm a mom, so I definitely don't have time for that. But two, um, it doesn't make me a better person to sit in whatever sorrow or whatever misery I was in. It makes me a better person to reflect on what it is that I went through, and then be like, all right, how can I do things differently? Um, I love that the older that I am getting, the more I understand how to do that and how to, just get along with life. I don't sit and I don't dwell on whatever happened. It happened, it happened. I am a firm believer in what is meant to be will be. And if that's not what it is, then that's just not what it is. And you got to keep it moving. Um, the next piece to that, I'm sorry, that's why I had to readjust my cards. The next piece to that is when you moving on, you don't really gotta show it. You don't gotta be sitting out there like, oh, I moved on, I did this, I did that. That's not what it looks like. When you move on, you really, really move on. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you really, really move on, you don't have to show it. You just it's seen. Some things are, like it's the saying, some things are better left unsaid. Some things are better seen and left unsaid. This is just let it be. You don't gotta go out your way to like, oh man, this used to kill me back in the day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to get into some other stuff. When I used to see people that I used to hang with and all that stuff, and they get in a situation where they break up with somebody and then they like gotta hurry up and go get somebody else so they can make it a point to show that person that they've moved on. Let me tell you why that don't work. Um, or why it wouldn't work if you were doing that to me. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if we broke up, like if me and a person broke up, it's for a reason. And if we broke up, I probably don't want you back. I haven't been one of those type of people that give many, many chances. It's probably like in real life, maybe like two. And I'm 42 now, so maybe like two or three people I may have given opportunity, second chances. I really don't give out that many opportunities to do it over. If you get it together the first time, or maybe it's just maybe not meant to be. But even still, when you move on, all right, then obviously you needed something else. That's not telling me that, oh, I lost a good thing. No, that's telling me, all right, you doing you. Moving on don't look like you just moving on to somebody else. Moving on looks like, all right, that happened. I sat down, I reflected on some things, and let me just figure out what my life is going to be from here, and then taking the actions to make sure that you focusing on them things. And if somebody happens to come in your life after you've moved on, then they there, but they not the object of you moving on. It looks so stupid when people just, oh, I gotta show that I got this new person. I gotta show what I'm not. No. Take some time for you. I honestly recommend that. Um, I did it right after the relationship I had before the one I got into. I'm telling you, I had like a whole year where I was just like, I don't want no relationship. I just want to be on some chill stuff. I don't want to really worry about being hurt. And that's the way I thought at the time. Like, I don't want to worry about being hurt. I just want to take some time for me. And that's the best thing I could have done because I really got some time for me and to enjoy myself and trust me, it was a string of bullshit relationships before that. But like I really got some time. I really had some time to reflect about what it is that I needed to do and what kind of woman I did want to be when I did get into another relationship. And because it's not just about the other person, it's about what kind of person you're going to be in that relationship. I knew what kind of person that I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to incorporate some of the ideology that I already had, but just move a little at a different pace and at a different speed, and really look for certain aspects, certain characteristics. Well, not look for, but know that it was certain characteristics and certain qualities that I wanted in a spouse, and understood what those qualities and characteristics were before I hopped into a whole nother relationship. And I did. I took a lot of time to reflect. So this is why I'm saying moving on. I ain't really worried about moving on to somebody else. It's really moving on mentally and getting your shit together. If you think moving on to somebody else, another person, is the answer, then then you have to question what was wrong in the first place. What was wrong in your relationship? What's wrong with you? There, I said it. That's something to consider. Really, to be honest, it's something to consider. I'm be honest with you. Hmm. Okay. 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 Let me move on to the next thing because where we at on time. Okay. Next thing I want to speak on is stop going out into the world expecting things. It's better sometimes, not going to say all the time, but I'm going to say sometimes it's better to not expect anything. To be honest, the reason why I say this is because when you don't go out here expecting things, then you can't, it's a lot harder to be disappointed, if that makes sense. See, when you go out here with these expectations, when your expectations are not met, then generally you're disappointed. Your feelings are hurt, like, oh, I thought this was going to happen, but it didn't happen because you went out there expecting something that you should not have expected. Like, the reason why you shouldn't expect anything is because everybody's different. Everybody moves differently. Now, that's not to say to not want things. I want things all the time. I mean, I really do. I want a lot. You feel me? But I also know that I can't walk out into this world and expect to receive those things. I also know that if I go out here expecting certain things, that I'm going to easily be let down, and I understand it. That's not to say that I'm not going to still want it. And when it doesn't happen, I'm still not going to be upset. Yes, all of that. That's human nature. But I generally, at this point, don't walk out with expectations. I really come into this situation. This is why this episode is called we we wonder. I also, as I was promoting on social media, said the great expectations, because we wonder about the great expectations. We wonder, you know, why people expect things from us. We wonder about these things. And then we also wonder about why it is that our expectations aren't met. But if you really don't, if you go out here and you just expect it to be what it's going to be, then you're not let down, I guess. I don't know if I'm being pessimistic. I might be a little bit, but I really, at this point in time of my life, it's like, all right, I don't expect anything. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. In the earlier years of my life, I was very optimistic. I went out like, I expect this. I'm going to give you an example. I expected to be a mother by a certain age. That didn't happen. I didn't become a mother until I was 32. I expected to have a certain lifestyle. What I guess a lot of girls, because not women, but girls anticipate, you meet the man and you get married and then you get a home and then you have the children and you live happily ever after. That's what we expect. But that's not the reality of how things happen. And especially within the African American community of today. It's a different kind of ball game out here. Now that's not to say that you can't have that dream. That dream can't happen. That's just to say, don't go out here expecting it. Expect it to be what it's going to be. If it's in the books, if it's written for you to meet that gentleman and then get married and have the house and the children and the happily ever after, then that's what it's going to be. But just know it's just not going to come. It's going to take a lot of hard work and understanding and communication for you to even get to that point. And I think it's not an expectation to do those things. It's work to communicate. It's work to understand. It's work to love. It's work, but it's not an expectation. You don't expect for the other party to bring the same. You can't. I just say channel your energy the way they channel theirs. If they channel and love you, they channel on love and it's there, then you channel that energy back. But never give more than what you can give and never expect more than what you can get. And that's that. And that's how I feel about that. So yeah. But the unexpected, that was the other part of this. The unexpected can be amazing if you give it a chance. You just gotta grab life by the cojones and see where it leads you. That's what I'm going to say about that. Drop a comment if you're watching this podcast. I would love your insight, whether you agree with what I'm saying and whether you don't. Your insight is always welcome. I would love, and it's not going to be a debate. I'm going to take your comments and really analyze it and see, maybe you'll teach me something. I don't know. We need to teach each other some things anyway. If you would like to be on this podcast, if you have a talent, a business, whatever it may be, hit us up ambitiouslythepodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is ambitiouslythepodcast@gmail.com. We're here for it. We're here for the smoke. We want to have some fun too. Know that any videos that I play on this podcast, I have permission to play. I reached out to the people or the people reached out to me. Either way, they said I can play the videos. And so I will play the videos because that's just how I'm set up. So what's next? Hold on, let's see what we got. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. They're just telling me I got some new stock, which I love. Remember, you can catch us on all of our social media platforms. The new Linktree link is coming very, very soon. So it'll be more convenient to all of you. But for the meantime, at Miss _Lurlucidity, again, at Miss _Lurlucidity, that is our IG. Our Facebook is Ambitiously the Podcast. Just type it in the little browser on Facebook. It'll take you straight there. And our YouTube page is Ambitiously the Podcast, the Black Experience on YouTube as well. So check us out. Make sure you go check out our website. We're changing things steadily on that website every day. It might be some construction when you get up there. We're working on it. We're making sure it's together. We need the right framework, so we're working on it. But the website is www.ambitiouslyentertainment.com. Again, the website is www.ambitiouslyentertainment.com. Check us out. You might find some new stuff up there. I told y'all I have an article. We're waiting for, the set be powers to finish reviewing it. But I will let you know when that article drops, and I will be dropping the link so you can go check it out as well. Because adults read, and that's what we do. That's what we just read. We make sure we gotta educate our children. So if we're not reading, how are we educating our children? I'm just saying. So let's get back to the subjects at hand, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to tantric. I'm going to hurry up. It's never too late to do better. I think that's a very important lesson of the day as adults, because we expect our children to go out here and be great human beings, but we really reflect upon the things that we do that makes us better human beings? How can we teach them to be better human beings if we're not doing right? But my message to that is it's never too late to do better. It's never too late. I don't care how old you are. If you can change how you do things that are not so good and turn it into something better, it's never too late. Do your thing. I want to hop into this tantric sex situation real quick because we're running out of time. All right, I want to talk about. I had a question. What kind of talk is not allowed during sex? To be honest, thank God I'm in a situation now where I don't have to worry about these things. But to be honest, back in my yesteryear, there were situations where conversations were had during sex, and I was like, "Yo, dude, shut the fuck up! Like, why are you shut up? If you're not talking some dirty, kinky shit to me, I don't want to hear, and especially if I don't love you." There's certain conversations I don't want to have during sex if I don't love you. Now, thank goodness I'm not in that. I don't have to worry about these things anymore. But yeah, but in a relationship, like, it's a lot of things you could say to me. You could talk dirty to me and talk some old life changing shit in this at the same fucking time. I wouldn't even mind it. But if I don't rock with you like that, why are we having these conversations during sex? So it is, in my opinion, there are certain things that could be said during sex that would totally turn me off. I'd be like, oh Lord, help this child. Why? I'm so glad that ain't my life. So glad I don't have to deal with these things because people just out of pocket. So I wanted to come with some tantric sex tips, and I'm gonna try to squeeze it all in. Cause these are so. All right, let me break down tantric sex though. So tantric sex is not just having sex. It's a spiritual thing. It's a connection thing. It's two people coming together. If you into yoga, you might like tantric sex. So, you know what I mean? Like, namaste. You might be into it. It's about touch. It's about sense. It's about connection. So I'm gonna give you a few tips because I feel like they're needed. Hold on, let me get to my bone. So the first thing I'm gonna say is your setting is everything. Like, make sure your setting is one of being free, and like, just think on a meditation level. That's not saying you can't have music, but I don't think you should have any trap music playing at the time. It's about just finding what is going to be both you and your partner's space, and freeing and calming and just relax, right? So set the scene. Definitely want to set the scene. Next, I say one thing before you both get into the act of tantric sex, work on breathing exercises together where you just sit. Again, maybe meditating together would be an option because then you have to work on your breathing. When you meditate, breathing is very important. So maybe a meditation round would be great. But make sure, you're breathing, you work on some breathing techniques, and your partner works on these same breathing techniques, because it is, again, about becoming one, and it's more spiritual than anything. Make sure when you're in the act, you guys have eye contact. That's very important. Look at each other. Look at each other's eyes. Sometime now, see, that's that's not tantric sex. That's sex or fucking. But tantric sex, eye contact is everything. You want to look at each other. Give each other massages. I'm nothing wrong with somebody giving you a good massage, but don't rush to sex. Take your time with it. That's the whole point of tantric sex, taking your time. Make sure you pay attention to your body movements, how your body is moving, how your partner's body moves. Everybody should be in a comfortable, calm setting. Uh, man, it's so many. Let me see. I gotta make sure that I try to delay the orgasm is hard. Especially sometimes for us women because we have multiples. But I think that's a lot easier. For I don't know. That's a question that I have. Is it easier for a dude to delay his orgasm than it is for a female? I would think so because we come in multiples. Like if it's done right. So I would think that it would be a little bit easier for a dude to delay his orgasm than it would be for a female. Um, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe we'll talk about that in another segment. I'm glad I did get through those tips. I wonder, is it um I've always paid attention to, when I've been in situations and relationships and we're having sex and my dude is trying to prolong his orgasms. There's certain things that they do. Now, fellas, for some females, let me just give you a tip. For some females in those situations, it could go one or two ways. It could go in the way where she like, all right, he trying to not he's trying to prolong himself from like he's trying to stop himself from coming, which she has to be a pretty understanding female for that. The other situation could be she could be like, oh my gosh, this shit is not good to him. He is not having a good time. He don't want it. You feel me? It could go one or two ways. It all depends on, like I said, the female. So watch how you move with that. It could get a little tricky, I promise you. It could get a little tricky. But delaying the orgasm, I want to think that it is easier for males to delay the orgasm than it is for females. I want to believe that, honestly. I don't know. So I don't know. Hit me up and let me know. Even if it's you seeing this podcast a little bit later, hit me up and let me know what you think. Is it easier for a man to delay his orgasm than it is for a female? I don't know about you, but for me, it's very hard for me to delay. It's very hard for me to delay my orgasms. I'm gonna play. Let me see. I think I want to come back to this subject matter because there's so much more to get into when it comes to tantric sex. So I think we will come back to it on next Wednesday's show. I think I'm gonna keep that on the list of things to talk about because I want to dive deeper into it. I don't want to just give you these tips. Like I gave you a little bit, but I didn't really give you all. So I think I'm going to come back and dive into it on next Wednesday's show. I think that's the plan. We talk about tantric sex, but I don't really think I really have gotten into, how beautiful it is and how much of a connection you gain with your partner through tantric sex. So I think we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that particular situation. And also, the question was two questions. So be ready to answer these because I'm going to ask the questions again next Wednesday, which is what sex is not allowed? What talk is not allowed during sex and what is cool? I already told you what my pet peeves are. Certain things that we should not be discussing. Like I don't really want to talk about life decisions during sex. That's just not cool. So what are your pet peeves? What do you think is acceptable talk during sex? That's the first question. The second question is, in your opinion, is it easier for a man to delay his orgasm than it is for a female? I've given you my decision on that as well. So I'm gonna pose those questions again next Wednesday and see, how you guys feel about it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna play another video before I go, but remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Takes a millisecond, doesn't cost you anything, and you support the show. Help me keep it going. Remember, always we invite you to come in and have conversations with us. Let me show my love because I'm not doing the full list. I'm gonna get back to that really soon. I want to come up with a different format for doing that, but I will say we are in 6 continents, which there are only 6. And we thank everybody who listens to this show, who watches this show for coming through. But on the download tip, we are in 6 continents. We are in 21 countries, and we have hit a milestone. We will talk about that. I don't know. Don't want to talk about that on Media Monday or Fire Friday. I want to celebrate that a little bit. We have reached our next milestone, and I'm gonna do that in a different way than I've been doing all of our milestones. Um, I appreciate all those who listen to this podcast, who come, they get download the podcast and show us love. I love you guys. I'm not doing the list right now because I don't love you guys. I love you guys very much, and I appreciate each and every person that comes through and supports the show. I do. It's just we got some things we gotta figure out on how I'm gonna deliver the list because it's getting crazy and I like it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna play another video, but what is very important to remember when I play these videos is if I'm playing the video, then I have full permission to play the video because I've asked for permission or they gave me permission. So I'm going to show love to those who show love to me. And so I'm gonna play another video. Not listen, I'm locked and loaded on the videos. I haven't even played the half of it. Let's go to my boy Bomb with his Bismarcky. Let's do that. What up, Bomb?
Wish I could have made it trapping. Wish I could have made it rapping. Wish God would have made it happen. But who am I to question this plan? Yeah. So I LV'd the wallet, the luggage, the bed sheets, the loafers, my girl closet, still spending from the 2000s. A man's got it, not flipping bricks though. Now I'm in the crypto, that's a body. Anybody violate, try and take, that's a body. There's not one piece of plastic on wifey, that's a body. Niggas broken 21, still slaving for massa probably. Racing from Maryland, who first to the hotel lobby at the Bellagio. It's watching the fountains with her for me. For her, it's the Louis stores every 20 feet. My circle's more like a square. Every side even, we all eating, but we stay hungry like we starve even. You don't know what to do with beef? Y'all vegans. Rap niggas stay biting my shit. Y'all cheating, guess I'm a mentor to millionaires. I'm Paul Deegan, I'm Jason Stone teaching. Niggas don't hear me though. I'm trying to pull up in his and her Maseratis at the valet, like I only got a couple hundred for you, homie. Had a bad day, smiling, reminiscing of them blocks in the winter. Then I remember, got a cruise on the Ritz-Carlton yacht in December. Yeah, it ain't ours, but we'll be there though, cause we know rubbing elbows with the wealthier help us grow. I've been telling y'all for years, money my habit. It's the only reason I can sympathize with you addicts. And I put that on my future paddock. The old ones had it, I don't think they really understand it. Look, goals to be in the 1%. By New Year's Eve, it seems I'm looking through colored contacts, how I'm seeing green. Yeah. One time for the paper, 2 times for the haters. Bismarcky, I hit them with the vapors, cause we stay ballin' like the NBA does.
I am back. I am back. Yeah, it's almost time to get out of here. We got a couple more minutes. So remember, next Wednesday, we're gonna dive deeper into this tantric sex thing. Plus a couple of other things I want to talk about as well. We are working on some things. There's always something in development over here. So don't get too used to everything that's happening. Or we'll get used to me showing love on a video tip. That's gonna happen. That's gonna, the more videos we get in, the more we'll show. But again, there are other things that work that help make this podcast work. And so it's a few changes, making sure I have an explanation coming for y'all on Friday. It's not what you think though. Fire Friday. Tune in for Fire Fridays where we shoot off on all the videos that we, have collected over this time frame. So we'll be doing that on Fire Friday, as well as I will be delivering. I don't want to say explanation, but it's gonna be something like that. That'll be happening as well. And with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in, remember we're always looking for those comments, and we have 2 questions coming up for the next Wednesday. What talk is allowed during sex and what is not? And the next question is, who can prolong or delay the orgasm the longest? Those are the questions for next Wednesday. I'm getting out of here. I got things to do. Good night. I love you guys. Bye.